Lamar Jackson won his third playoff game. Listen, I know, but he can't beat Kansas City. And nobody could beat Tiger Woods in his prime or Michael Jordan when he got to the finals. Sometimes winning in the playoffs against the greatest quarterback playing in the sport is really hard. But I think Lamar, once again, 132 passer rating, 2 TDs, no picks, without Zay Flowers. I mean, they knew. Everybody in the ballpark knows they don't have a receiver. It's Mark Edwards, Derrick Henry, and Lamar. Didn't matter. Poised, great. We got to stop the Lamar Jackson stuff. Yeah, he struggles against Kansas City. The world struggled against MJ. Like, Phil Mickelson's an all-timer. Couldn't beat Tiger much. I still think Lamar Jackson is really, really special. Calling right, calling wrong. And
all right. Can we stop with this nonsense? I mean, even when you were trying to do a victory lap here, we're like, he struggles against the Baltimore or against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Baltimore Ravens do. Stop putting it on Lamar Jackson, man. It's just crazy. Lamar Jackson balled against the Steelers. And everyone's like, oh, he struggles against the Steelers. He struggles in the playoffs. It's like we always have to kind of just, cook these books with Lamar, construct such a narrow, squeezed in narrative. And it's just absurd. I mean, it really, really is. Oh, Lamar Jackson wasn't able to beat the Kansas City Chiefs, who had the best defense. And they decided to not run the ball. And his number one option was a rookie wide receiver. He should have been able to find a way to win. And it's just like, huh? Really? Like, he just has to be able to do everything himself? Like, I don't think so. So stop putting it on Lamar's shoulders. Or let's use Lamar's stats from when he was a first and second year player. Like, okay, sure. It's just frustrating. This is a team sport. This is a team sport. You can only ask your superstar player to be able to break through so much when you're going up against other great special teams. When you're going up against lesser opponents, like maybe the Pittsburgh Steelers, like the Denver Broncos, like the, again, just name other names you want. Yeah, you can really rely on your superstar players to put on the cape and get through it. Less so when you're going up against the Baltimore Ravens, the Buffalo Bills, the Kansas City Chiefs, the Detroit Lions, the Philadelphia Eagles, etc., etc. But I mean, this was an awesome game from Lamar. 16 for 21, 175 yards passing, 8.3 yards per attempt, 2 touchdowns, 15 for 81 rushing, 132 rating, if I didn't already say that. Obviously, beast. They rushed for 299, could have been 300. Derrick Henry, 26 carries for 186 yards, 10 for 15 on third down, 464 total yards. I mean, it was just obvious how dominant and special they were. It's always interesting when you see like the Bills play the Broncos, the Eagles play the Packers, the Ravens play the Steelers. And what it was with the Ravens, I always try to figure out like, okay, what am I looking for in this game? Because I was expecting the Ravens to be able to win this game. And it was just like, we are better than you. Like that's what it was. If you guys ever watch Parks and Rec, it's like when Ron Swanson goes into like, I don't know, like a Home Depot or something. And the guy's like, hey, can I help you? And he's like, I know more than you. And the guy's like, okay. And then he just like walks away. And that's what it was. The Baltimore Ravens are just like looking at the Steelers and they're just like, we're better than you. That's it. And we're just going to play football now. We don't got to do anything else. We're just going to play football. And it's just going to be as clear as day. We're better than you. We're better than you. I'm stronger than you. I'm faster than you. And it's like, not even like, I got to race you. It's just like, here's 50 pounds. I'm just going to hand it to you. Can you hold this? And they're like, no, it just drops to the ground. And they're like, what the heck was that? I mean, that's what this game was. No thrills. You're obviously excited because they won if you're a Baltimore Ravens fan, but there was nothing like inherently exciting about it because it was like, we're just better than you. We're just going to hand the ball off. Lamar is just going to dish it out. Nothing crazy. It wasn't like super high level throws. It wasn't, amazing a run game plan in terms of like so creative. It was just like, we're just better than you, man. We're just better than you. And they showed that from the opening drive. It was just hard, physical. There wasn't any like random deep 50-50 balls. They didn't have to do any like crazy misdirection run plays. It was just basic, fundamental football. Elementary football. But we do it bigger and better than you. were just bigger, faster, stronger. It was textbook Ravens, 13 plays, 95 yards, second longest touchdown for the postseason team history for them. I mean, they had 304 yards at half. Then to end the half, 9 play, 90 yards. You know, I mean, like it was just basic. It was easy. And it was understanding the situation of the game, understanding what the Steelers were able to do. So you didn't do anything dumb like cough it up randomly. You didn't do anything where you got out of your way, where you got in your own way, where you now have like back-to-back third, 3 and outs and stuff. Like the Eagles, for instance, had like, I forget exactly what it was. It was just like, like well over an hour between like completions or something for Jalen Hurts. And like they left the door open without a shadow of a doubt for the Packers to come back into that game. The door was never open for the Steelers. The Steelers, of course, got some momentum going in the second half, and the Ravens obviously slowed down a little bit as well. I think technically the Steelers won the second half, maybe. I forget now. But even so, like the Ravens obviously could have hung another 3 points or another 7 points the way they were playing. So even that score is not really completely accurate or representative of what it was. But what I also loved was they only had 3 penalties. That's a miracle, man. That's amazing. And to start off the game, they got a penalty, and I'm just like, oh my God, what are you doing? But to see them not get those penalties, they were 3 for 4 in the red zone. Time of possession, obviously dominant 40 minutes to 20 minutes. It's like this game was so basic, so straightforward, so elementary. It's like there's not even a ton to say. And I already now know, like, on first things first, it's going to be like, does this prove that Lamar Jackson has grown as a player? Proof Lamar Jackson doesn't choke in the playoffs, or that's going to be the talking points. And believe me, I'm going to get after them on first things first because I'm very confident that's what it's going to be. Impressed with Lamar's performance, and they're going to be like, no, it was the Pittsburgh Steelers, and blah 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 blah. And it's just going to be more just yipping and yapping. But all in all, this was a great game. It does still, though, need to be put into context because it is the Pittsburgh Steelers. It is the first round, and Lamar Jackson is so special. The Baltimore Ravens are such a great team that you aren't really, you don't get to do victory laps in the wild card round. And the same thing for the Buffalo Bills, same thing for the Philadelphia Eagles, same thing for if it was the Detroit Lions, if they were playing the Kansas City Chiefs. Like all of the excellence is measured for, especially Lamar specifically. How does Lamar and the Baltimore Ravens play against the Buffalo Bills, against the Kansas City Chiefs in the Super Bowl, right? Like, that's what matters. These are great wins and further proof that he's not a choke artist, which I've defended him a million times. But it's just like, this is like the Ravens and Lamar graduated from really being able to be like, that's right, that's what we do. It's like, you beat the Pittsburgh Steelers first round at home. That's like the ultimate floor. Like, you better do that, and you better do that 99.999. If you lose this game or don't play well, it's got to be because something outrageous happened. Like, you win this game, and you win this game convincingly, and you ball out convincingly every single time you play this game. That is who you are. That is how special you are. That is how great you are. That is how how generational you are. And so it's a good place to be. And that's why it's like, this next game now against the Buffalo Bills, we are in for a ride for that. Really, really can't wait for that one. But those are just my thoughts. I'd absolutely love to hear yours. What do you guys all think about the Baltimore Ravens and their big win over the Pittsburgh Steelers? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single comment, so whether you agree with me or disagree with me, either way, let's get in some discussions. Let's get in some fights. But ultimately, let's just have some fun. And please do consider subscribing. We're building an amazing community here, and I'd absolutely love to see you part of it. I want to build something that we all genuinely feel connected to, something that we're really excited to be part of. I think we're on our way to doing it. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, as it really does help the visibility and the algorithm. Thank you so much, and see you next time.